Well, hot on the heels of news of a Corvette Vision GT pair coming to Gran Turismo 7, we also have news of another brand returning. Kind of two brands in one, and although it seems like they're going more with the Opel side of things rather than the Vauxhall side of things, you could argue that if they wanted to add a bonus vehicle for the sake of it, they could kind of do what they've done in the past, having like two versions of the Calibra, two versions of the Opel Speedster or the VX220, two versions of the Astra touring car, etc. Vehicles which, as I name them, you would probably rather have over this one, but at the very least this does offer some potential. Unfortunately, there are certain giveaway terms and giveaway things about its design which will immediately put certain people off. As you can immediately tell, it is of course a Vision GT car. It's called the Corsa GSE Vision Gran Turismo. For many of you, you won't be interested, but wait, if you have any interest, I'm about to get rid of all of it because it's fully electric as well. So yes, it's going to be quick. We already know, much like with many of the cars, it's not going to have a huge amount of use, potentially at least. We'll have to wait and see what it's like to actually drive, so fingers crossed, but it does bear some of the hallmarks of a vehicle which won't necessarily be all that useful, so here's hoping that it is. It would be kind of ironic if a Corsa ends up being way more useful than most of the other Vision GTs. In terms of spec, it is certainly impressive on paper. 800 horsepower, 800 newton meters of torque. It actually only weighs 1170 kilos, which is really good for an electric car. Of course, in real life, that would presumably mean it's got a pretty small battery pack, Volkswagen IDR style. Speaking of the IDR, probably get about the same amount of use out of it. In terms of performance, 2 seconds to 60. These days, I mean, what does that even mean anymore? It seems like everything in a minivan can do that. Top speed is presumably limited to 199 miles an hour, so 320 kilometers an hour. Again, in real life, you'll see that quite a lot to protect the batteries. Plus, of course, when it comes to efficiency, electric motors tend to lose more efficiency at higher speeds, so that doesn't surprise me too much. Within the game, it is a shame because there's no real reason why you couldn't push it further. It actually has another 80 horsepower boost, kind of F1 style, so that you can overtake. And apparently, it only works in like 4-second boosts up to about 880 horses, but I guess if F1 is anything to go by, it could be useful if you use it in the right place. It seems like it will take a minute to charge, kind of literally more than a minute to recharge it, so you really will have to decide if they implement it into the game in that same way, when and how you want to use that. As far as the aero goes, of course you can see the crazy styling. I personally love, it's probably my favourite thing about the car actually, the throwback visuals, the white, kind of white and yellow, again making us think of stuff like the Astras, the Calibras. Of course that is their team colour, so of course you would go with that. I've always thought it's a very attractive looking colour scheme as well. It's simple and immediately recognisable. As far as the aero goes, very silhouette racer style, kind of DTM, a bit of rally, a bit of Pikes Peak almost in there, a few things put together. Very distinctly Vision GT as well. It's got an active diffuser, active wing, so we should presumably see some evidence of those moving around while driving as well. And in terms of when to expect it in the game, all we know for the moment is a quote-unquote autumn GT7 release. So now we know a few different vehicles which should be arriving at some point in the near to far future. The Xiaomi, the Corvettes, now this one as well. It will be shown at the IAA Mobility Show on September the 8th, and at the GT World Series. There will be the live version, the actual show car if you will, in Berlin on the 20th of September as well. So if you do attend one of those, you'll be able to see the real concept, and it is actually more impressive than you'd think to see some of these cars in real life. I recall years and years ago at the Goodwood Festival of Speed, there were a few full-size. There was a full-size Red Bull X2011, which was very cool to see, or no, an X2010 I should say, but there was also a full-size Mercedes Vision GT and the full-size Volkswagen Vision GT Roadster, the red one. So it is cool when you see them in real life. I have to admit, they are very impressive looking cars, albeit of course nowhere near capable of what they would be in the game. At the end of the day, we know what these are, it's marketing. So of course they're clearly trying to go, as you'll have seen from their little teaser trailer for the car, for that youthful vibe, which makes sense for a Corsa, GSIs, VXRs. It's all part of that kind of vibe, always has been. So in terms of performance, you know it's going to be quick. In terms of usability though, much like the Corvette, that is what remains to be seen. And by extension, I guess you could say the Xiaomi as well. How much use will these cars actually get in the game? We'll have to wait and see, I guess. That's it for this bit of news though. It seems to be coming in a bit more regularly again at the moment, which is interesting. I know for many you'd wish it was something other than Vision GTs, but there you go. So I'll see you next time with more, and thanks for watching.